Does that make sense?
Yeah. Just
Okay.
play as a medic, basically.
Yeah. And as I was saying, a little more complicated. If you want to know exactly where to fight and have low risk, just try to peek and get some info. Just this small peek here allows me to see bats, and I can then rotate accordingly to see how it's harder for him to see me if I'm on the right.
Yeah.
Like, let's say I peek here and I see him in main right there. Easy. Left is free. Right, not so much, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise it's a bit. I think it's kind of explained with just stick to your medic and demo. Let's say you have the point capped and you want to know where to stand. Really just stand where your combo is. If your combo is really far back, you can stand forward a bit. You're not really wanting to like do anything to kill people or to like run behind. You can just chill. You can spot like concrete passively. Go on this rock if you feel like it. Spot bats.
Uh, Thank you. Wait, I do have one more quick question. Am I
Hmm.
supposed to cap on this point? Like, I assume I am because I'm scout. But every time I try to cap, I just get melted. Like 15 stickies, a mini century. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a nice way to put it. Like, assume there's sticks on this right rock. Walking through main may be tough. You can walk to the left and cap point from here. Vice versa, sticks right here. You can play the right side of the point. But if there's sticks all over the point, like I couldn't recognize who said that, but like they said, wait for the point by just going on and off. And if sticks are not the problem, and you're just wondering when to get on point, usually it's when your team can fight. What do I mean? Let's say your team is pushing, you push concrete, you take the space behind fence. Let's say your heavy goes like here, and all of you are healthy. Nothing devastating has happened, and it's kind of just like downtime. Like nothing's happening for the past like few seconds. Your team should be ready to fight or to do something. So if you just announce as scout, I want to get on point, you can just wait for someone to say something, like your demo, and then just get on point. You can also just wait for your demo to tell you what to do as well.
Cool.
Is that true? Oh, I guess you can listen to your main color, whoever that is. If your main color says, let's fight the point, you can assume that people behind you will help you if you're capping. If that is not happening, then you should probably talk to your team about that. Does that help?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Okay. I know we're a little late already. Am I waiting for anyone? Alright. Should I take notes for you guys? You're recording? Cool. Okay, so this is, if you guys are familiar, the old version of Cascade. There's actually a newer version, but I guess people don't like the newer version, so we're back to the old one. Um, so there's not much of a difference, really. So I wouldn't tell you anything really different if we were on the other version. Um, for this demo review, do you guys have anything in mind that I should go over strictly? Do you have like just learning the map? Um, mhm.
You struggle a fair bit with things going lower.
Mid fights positioning. Okay. So, do you think you guys have a good gist of the map? Like a good understanding? Okay, good. So, positioning mid fights, and yeah, we'll just start off with that. We are the red team. Let's see what your rollout looks like. Just slowing it down to make sure we see everything. Everyone is left. Demos there quicker. And pause. So let's see where everyone is. Big Weezer's your scout. Yeah, we talked about it. Trying to stay next to your medic. That's okay. Your sniper's Burke. He's bottom right. And your Archie is NG. Okay. Rolling out bottom left isn't bad in the idea you're just wanting to get to mid fast, right? But main is most likely faster and safer for you guys. The main reason being if Sniper gets to bats like he is right now, you have to cross the middle of the map to get to fence, right there, to be safe. So if you go main, you don't have to cross the sight line, whereas if you go left, you have to cross it. Um, yeah, the faster you are, the less you have to worry about Sniper peeking early. So if you're too slow, yeah, main would be best for you guys. It's just safer. Anyone who wants to play on flank can go onto bats and waterfall. So far though, I don't see anything majorly wrong. I wonder what Archie's trying to do in there though. We have an under push. No, he's there. Your sniper's on the floor. They're pushing, so they responded to your under. You're fighting point together, but it's only two people. So you can see how your Pyro and Demo were fighting the point, but your medic wasn't helping you on point, right? That's because there is an underfight happening. On any Koth map, if you are ever feeling too much pressure from a second angle, like multiple angles, if they are not in your face, like for example, if the demo was not behind there and if he was on the point, like right in front of Daisy's there, then you can back up and deal with under, get healed up, and then fight point. The reason being you're splitting your resources a bit harshly. You know, your medic is tasked with healing your under players and on point, which both are fighting at the same time. So to recap that, you can, if you're ever feeling pressure from two angles, you you can usually back up and regroup and deal with one of the angles at least, like under in this case. You know, give the point for a few seconds just to kill under, get healed up again, then you can fight point without having to worry about, this mosh pit of just lower end point at the same time. And we can check our positions here. Archie's sticking to Bert, that's fine. Your spy has gotten behind, that's okay. Your demos walked backwards. Your demos walked backwards to look at lower. See how I said you can back up to kill lower and not even worry about point? This is something that can happen. And is perfectly fine. Both spies in the same position. The difference is red pyro's looking forward versus this pyro might actually spy check. So it looks like blue spy might actually get in. Fortunately, nothing happened there. So I just want to make sure. Uh, how would I say your name, Big Weezer fan? Do you go by something else?
Huh? Uh,
Weezer?
yeah.
Okay, okay. Uh,
My name's Taryn if you don't want to say Weezer.
no, I'll say Weezer, don't worry.
Okay.
Uh, I'm, I don't know if you've noticed, but Point seems a bit, lonely. It looks a little absent without you there. I haven't paid attention to where you were exactly. You're back there. You probably died fighting lower,
Yeah.
but I'm sure if you imagined yourself with on the point with your demo, it would feel you would feel like you're doing something and you can feel safe doing it versus fighting an enclosed space lower as a weak, low health scout. So sorry for pausing so much. I'm just trying to get get across the basic points. So we have capped the point and we have initiated a hold. So let's look at where we're positioned. Our medics on the left with our sniper. These two positions will almost always be the same for like almost all holds on the point. So these two players are fine. The demo and the heavy can kind of walk wherever they feel like it. If heavy wants to play the right, he can play the right. If heavy wants to play the left, he can play the left. Both are fine. The demo can wander across the point wherever he wants to go, but he doesn't really want to go beyond the point. So him standing on the point is fine. Your pyro can stand on the point as well, standing near the medic if needed. Your NG's back here. If I nitpick, he could be over here, making sure Burke is still has his back. He's getting spy checked for himself. So Archie would be behind the medic here, maybe behind this rock even. Both are fine. And the only thing I'd say that's wrong is Weezer and the soldier should swap positions. If the soldier is in waterfall,
What?
he has an easier time than Scout.
Can you repeat that sentence for me again,
Uh,
please?
as a soldier, when you have the point capped, you would have an easier time playing their waterfall than your Scout would. Would you agree?
Okay.
Having someone in their waterfall to spot it is perfectly fine. I would recommend it highly. It would be easier for your soldier to do it though. can see there's been a disconnect with your medic. Your medic was chilling on the left, and then you rotated to the right and was not healing your heavier demo on the point, which has led to some poor health as seen on the left side of the screen, and your heavy is dead. So make sure make sure we calm when we're backing up. I assume since you guys have a good understanding of the map, I don't have to say much about how to play it. I would just say make sure that you are not cowering too much. You know, if the enemy can sit 4 people on the point and then jump over this rock and land on your medic and you haven't noticed it yet, then you probably should be a bit further back so you can have better vision of the point. Standing above the under entrance or back here, just so you aren't so confined in these little parts of the map. I do like how Archie is standing next to your sniper a lot. He seems to understand his job very well. So we push out of bottom left and bottom right. This is very good. You guys need to walk though. Your sniper is dead, but you still have to walk. Unfortunate. And your med died there. Yeah. So if your sniper is dead as you're pushing, as much as you may hesitate thinking their sniper is going to be free to shoot you and not be pressured at all, you should still commit to the push and walk forward. As a medic, if you're walking through this bottom left choke, you should have trust that your demo or scout would shoot the sniper so that he doesn't look at your medic. That heavy peeking lower was a bit unfortunate. I would say if you guys weren't hesitating as much, you would not lose so many to the heavy. I would be a bit careful pushing this early, knowing your team isn't in, because you can get staggered like that. You're pushing alone down there is heavy, and you just randomly died. So make sure you're in sync with your main color, which is your pyro. That was a really good push onto point. Their soldier got a good bomb, unfortunately. And the fight was won. So I'll just rewind that. Just trying to make sure you guys see what makes a point fight work. So your demo pressures middle, your 3 people walk left, your demo's still here shooting, you regroup on point, and even though that soldier bomb happened and it was a bit catastrophic, you still won. It's always good to push with numbers, as many as you can. So even though you lost your heavy, you still didn't fear and you walked forward. It's a very good push. So we're holding the point again. Essentially, all players stand on the point. You don't really walk forward and too
My
far
bad, gang.
forward. All good. You don't really walk too far forward because you can get caught out. Because imagine, like, if I'm standing here as an important class, like Daisy's right now, I can be shot at from any angle. Like, bats can look at me, bottom right can look at me, concrete can look at me, like, main can look at me. This is why standing too far forward can be detrimental, which is why standing on the point, like your sniper and heavy, gives a lot more protection because you can see there isn't many angles that can see you on the point like this. So I did miss a sack, but it was essentially the soldier and demo sacking it. I heard you guys were talking about how to deny bombers. Um, I believe I heard that heavy deals with the soldier mainly, and the pyro, I guess, deals with other things. What I would what I would try to explain as a like the best way you could try to defend the sack. Your denial classes like Scout, Pyro, NG, and Heavy are all focused on specific targets. NG looks for spy, Scout looks for either bombers or people running in on the floor. Your Pyro tries to reflect some spam, and your Heavy deals with the bombers. If all 4 of you do those jobs, then that's your best. You will then have a good chance of having a favorable outcome that you'd want. Obviously, it may not work every time. Sometimes people will miss their shots. Sometimes the enemy will hit lucky shots. It happens. Just try to make sure you all are, you know, shooting targets during the sack and not, you know, just being surprised and not doing much. So if you guys get that sack mentality down, you most likely won't have moments like this where they didn't push, they just sacked into you and they killed your whole team. So besides that demo jumping in, this push is quite clean so far. You have a heavy in your waterfall. I think a soldier just jumped in there and died. So you're heavy, you have waterfall presence, you can walk on the point. They have full ad, or no they don't. It was 10 ad. You use as a counter. And because you lost a lot of people during their Uber, the post was not good. It's a little, there's not much to really say here. If you can try and keep track of their Ubers as much as possible, you will have an easier time kiting and avoiding the enemy's Uber. So constantly bugging your spy saying, hey spy, what's their Uber percentage? Or asking your medic if they can track Ubers. That's really good. Try to keep track of that. I'd say the easiest time to ask for that is just before a push or just before defending a push. Those are essentially the best times to ask because nothing's really happening, right? Trying to get as much information as you can. Yeah, I would just say this lower play that happened over there, your soldier and heavy, was great, but your team was walking through main as that was happening, so they couldn't even follow up in time. It seems that one of your team's main problems is just waiting for the call to push. Not sure if the main caller is not, you know, being vocal enough about it, or if we're just too impatient. But making sure that, sorry, mm-hmm. That's fine. That's fine. Have you main called on a Koth map before? Sixes? Yeah, that's fine. Uh, yeah, the holds are basically the same. I would say you can just take it a little slower. That's really all that I would say. Just slow down the game in your head and just play off of what you see, really. Like, if you're behind the point and you want to get on the point to cap it, you know, just ask your team if we can push, and then push. The reason it'd be a little hard as Pyro to say let's cap and win because you are not the power class. You're Pyro. You know, your demo and scout can call these things, but they're not main calling. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So if you can see that your demo is has good health and he is in a good position, you can just call and say, "Hey, let's fight the point, guys," or "Hey, we're gonna use Uber in 3, 2, 1," something like that. Just make sure your team knows what's happening. As well, I would think trying to do trying to give comms like "Let's regroup," something like that would really help. Because as we've seen, either your team is a bit impatient or they just do not know what's happening. Just saying, hey guys, we're regrouping behind house or something. Or like, hey guys, let's regroup behind fence. Everyone will know what to do. Everyone will come to the fence. And then either you can say, we're gonna hold or push or something. Like, let's say you're behind house, you can say, all right, combo, let's push bottom left. So then combo goes left, but everyone else goes somewhere else. Like Berk can go bats, your flank can go waterfall or lower. Hmm. You don't have to be too specific. If you can just make sure that your team knows what's happening, because not everyone can see every part of the map. So as long as you can say what's generally happening, then I'd say you're doing a great job. But anyways, we have a mid fight, so I'll slow this down. Your sniper is main. No one is waterfall. Looks like they're fighting lower. Your heavy goes lower. Positions. We look pretty good. The only thing that I would say is a little sketchy is uh I'd say your heavy could either be posted somewhere, like behind the left rock here, or behind the fence. Your heavy doesn't need to always do something. He can just chill, and then after chilling, he can push lower, or after chilling, he can push right, he can push left. He doesn't have to be 24/7 push heavy. So make sure your heavy knows to slow down, especially during pushes. And mid fight is essentially a push on both teams. And I would say your soldier should definitely try to get himself to a position to bomb, like waterfall. He can bomb out of waterfall. He can either walk left or right and bomb off the wall right there. But if your soldier doesn't feel like bombing, you can just follow your heavy or hold a flank routes like waterfall or lower. Besides that, your positionings are fine. Let's see how the mid fight goes. You can see how we've been hovering behind fence for a long time. And we've just walked into a heavy lower. So we tried the clear lower. It did not go out too well. And the result is this. So, to put it bluntly, your team sat behind fence and then one by one walked into the heavy lower. Your sniper got headshot because he was alone and didn't know where the sniper was, probably. And that's about it. If you're wondering what to properly do on mid, I'm sure everyone has heard something like this. The first team to aggress usually wins. So when you get behind your side of the point, like fence or this side of the rock, if you notice everyone is healthy and ready to fight, daisies, you can just call to fight point. You can just call, hey guys, let's fight point. Let's fight right. Let's fight left. Something like that. Just to get your team going, Because when you sit behind here and their team is walking forward and shooting you, whereas you guys are kind of just standing still and letting it happen, it's a bit tough to play the game. So I would say this just start off by trying to push during mid in however way possible. Preferably above the point, not in the flank. The mid is essentially over because of all the deaths that happened lower. The only other thing I could say is your sniper really likes the low ground. Uh, I'll comment on that in a second. Your sniper really likes the low ground. I feel like if your sniper plays the high ground more often, with Archie behind him, your sniper would feel a lot more comfortable. But yeah. So the reason why you're getting so pressured here really hard is because there isn't, like, half your team isn't even helping you here. Like your heavy and sniper are over here, your scouts in waterfall. Half your team doesn't even know that you're fighting here. This is why if you call to regroup somewhere, like concrete, your team knows where you are, and they can then move and adapt accordingly. So instead of thinking, why is my team not helping me? You can just think, well, maybe I just haven't given them the information that we're doing something. So you get forced as a result. They have Uber. Let's see if they use it. Looks like they're not. So you get the point for free. We're playing back because we're down players. That's perfectly fine. Or maybe we're not. We're just all in. That's interesting. Your heavy was in there. That's perfectly fine. They use. Remember they had to add. So you guys got caught out by add again. Oh, there's your soldier salvage. Beautiful. Yeah, it's a there's a lot of chaos happening. If you're wondering why I'm not really saying, like, trying to commentate too much, essentially the reason why this went in your favor at the end is because 3 people were behind. Your soldier and your spy were behind, and then your scout came from waterfall and started fighting. If you are on the flank and you really want to do something more than just holding lower or holding your waterfall or their waterfall, when the enemy team pushes or is starting to push, just go behind them. Go on the opposite entrance their combo is. Like, for example, if their combo is bottom right, walk concrete, walk main. If their combo is concrete, walk main, walk bottom right. Ideally, faster than they can kill you. Or, if you have the mobility, you can jump up here onto bats. This will disrupt their push and slow it down. Yeah, okay. So, to describe what happened there, we regrouped after the lost mid fight, or not mid fight, that was a point fight. We regroup after the lost point fight. We come back and we start peeking. The combo starts peeking bottom left. We try to push through this corner, but the sniper's there waterfall. And I know the soldier bombed, but let's ignore that. The sniper's there waterfall. He proceeds to kill 2 of us, and then your sniper kills him. If you want to avoid this happening over and over again, as a combo, if you want to push a side of the map, call your sniper to peek the same location. So if you want to push bottom left, call your sniper to peek bats. Or right side bats, sorry. This would be like bridge, right side, that area. But if you want to push concrete, call your sniper to peek bats, to peek main, maybe even follow you guys concrete. This would help in the long term with snipers that beam you down as you try to walk through the choke. So instead of losing 2 to their sniper before Burke can even shoot him, you can wait for your sniper to peek top right, and then just push with your sniper peeking. And your heavy pushed lower again, your soldier's trying to help. It's it's almost coordinated, but this is happening again out of sync with your combo. And yeah, the soldier getting in lower for free. Your demo goes in, almost gets the medic. Your scout follows up pretty good. So the past 20 seconds, like the past 10 seconds, have just been your teammates going in on their own timer. Your flank and the combo do not really sync well together. This could just be the information thing that I was talking about. Your demo sacks again. They backed up so you can start capping, but you haven't finished the cap for some reason. There you go. They use Uber. Whenever the enemy team uses Uber and your medic doesn't have it, try to leave and just play the next fight. See how all four of you guys are peeking at the same time? That was really good there. Your medic dying is just a result of there not being a support class next to your medic. You know, your pyro wasn't there, your heavy wasn't there. Just unfortunate timing. You can be more aware of that, of course, but that's just the reason. This should not be allowed, and we should be... Yeah, we should be forward with our demo. Make sure we're forward with our demo. Your soldier bombed their sniper. That's very good. He's bombing again. Nice. So that was your flank going behind again. If you know your flank is behind, that heavy's a little annoying with his audio. There you go. If your flank is going behind, your combo can be a bit more passive. You can play slower and just wait for your flank to help you guys. But to describe this fight, they walk onto point, they kill people. Blue team walks on the point, kills people. They cap the point. Your flank goes behind. Your flank kills their sniper, their medic, and then you guys slowly flood in and kill the rest of their team. The reason that all happened was mainly because your team walked in with each other. When everyone is in sync, the game feels a lot different. That was a bit unfortunate. Where's sniper was up there, I believe. Yeah, so medic is known to stand here because he can sit behind this fence, and if he feels scared, he can walk behind this rock right there. But usually he can just sit here and be really safe. If sniper's bats, he's fine. If sniper's main, he just scoots a little to the right. He is very safe from sniper. So your team should try to play around that more than just being everywhere. Because when your medic has to peek, he's risking his life all the time, unless he knows where sniper is. kind of like the last fight, everyone floods in there at the end. I would say of the times that you guys are in sync, you look really good. Like what happened right there, if you can do that all the time, like on every push that you do, you'll be very, very good. Like you'll be an unstoppable force at times. I know you didn't win right there because that was just desperation. But